Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Kaunda, the teacher of French at the Dao Academy, and welcome to today's lesson which is on French. Bonjour, voilà, on commence. Notre première lesson, our first lesson, will be on articles, verses, jobs, and gender. Now we are going to look at on how we can avoid using an article when we are talking about jobs. So an article isn't needed when talking about jobs. So we're going to see this in the following examples. In English, an article will be there, but in French, we are going to avoid using an article. Okay, for example, je suis serviteur. Je suis serviteur in English means I am a waiter. So in English we have got an article, a, but in French we do not have. We just use the word itself. Je suis serviteur. The next example, il est agriculteur. Il est agriculteur, or we can still say elle est agricultrice, meaning he or she is a farmer. So agriculteur, and in English we say a farmer. The next example, il est médecin ou elle est médecin. Translation, he or she is a doctor. L'exemple suivant, that's the next example. Mon oncle est comptable. My uncle is an accountant. And our last example here, je travaille à la ferme. Jean travaille à la ferme. Il est fermier. John works at the farm. He is a farmer. So as you can see, we have been using the names of jobs in French without putting an article, but in English the articles would be observed. So whenever that you are writing, so be careful on how you are translating, more especially when you are going to English. Even when you are speaking French, do not use an article when talking about jobs. Let's look at the next part of the work where we are describing people's works. Mon père est agent de police. This is another example. Mon père est agent de police. So you can see we don't have an article being used in front of the name of agent de police, but in English my father is a police officer. Ma sœur, as you can see, ma sœur est informaticienne. Ma sœur est informaticienne. There's no article there. In translating, you're going to say ma sœur, my sister, is a computer scientist. Ma mère travaille à son compte. Ma mère travaille à son compte. Translation, my mother is self-employed. Next example. Ma grand-mère était boulangère. There's no article there. Translation, my grandmother was a baker. L'exemple suivant, the next example. Mon ami est mécanicienne. My friend is a mechanic. The next example. Mes parents sont professeurs. Mes parents sont professeurs simply means my parents are teachers. So in French, we don't have an article that we are using in terms of jobs, but in English, we always have articles. But here we have not put an article because teachers is already in plural, and it is still making sense when you translate. The next part, in terms of jobs, we are going to look at part-time jobs and work experience. Remember, whatsoever that we are doing right now here, it is to train ourselves when it comes to French speaking. And French speaking, there will be different subjects or different topics that will be given and that you are going to be using when speaking. So be careful in your speaking so that you don't make a number of mistakes. Let's look at the following sentences that are talking about jobs and work experience. The first one, j'ai besoin d'un petit boulot. J'ai besoin d'un petit boulot. Translation, I need a part-time job. Mon premier boulot était serviteur. Mon premier boulot était serviteur. My first job was a waiter. The next example, je travaille à mi-temps comme vendeuse. Je travaille à mi-temps comme vendeuse. I work part-time as a saleswoman. Vendeuse, saleswoman. The next example, vous avez des postes en ce moment? This is an interrogative sentence. Vous avez des postes en ce moment? Do you have any position right now? Please be careful. Don't translate post as in post in English. No, here post it means a position. The next example, je cherche un emploi avec des heures flexibles. Je cherche un emploi avec des heures flexibles. I'm looking for a job with flexible hours. The next one, cette année, je vais faire un stage dans une entreprise. Cette année, je vais faire un stage dans une entreprise. Meaning, this year I will do work experience in a company. So, remember, we have talked about different types of jobs, and we have spoken that we shouldn't be using an article when it comes to jobs and work experiences when we are speaking. So we have to make sure that our constructions of sentences are okay. We have to make sure that when you are presenting, when you are speaking, you construct your sentences clearly without making simple mistakes. So the next thing that we have an exercise that I want you to try right now. Match the job titles with the work places. So you have le médecin, you have le professeur, l'avocat, le maçon, le mécanicien, or you can still use la mécanicienne, l'agent de police, and on the other side you have got le tribunal, you have le tribunal, you have l'hôpital, you have le commissariat de police, you have le collège, and you have le chantier de construction. So you can try to work to do the matching, and I'll be giving you 1 minute so that I see how you're going to answer. Thank you. I hope you are done, and I believe this time around you might come up with answers like this. We have le médecin as a doctor, le professeur teacher, l'avocat a lawyer, le maçon builder, le mécanicien ou la mécanicienne mechanic, l'agent de police police officer, and we have l'hôpital, hospital, le collège, le school, le tribunal, la court, le chantier de construction, building site, le garage, and le commissariat de police, a police station. I believe you have understood from whatsoever that we've been doing today, and let's meet in the next lesson. But remember, everything that we have done here, we are working on an article, on how we can avoid using an article in when we are talking about the names of the work experiences, and when we are talking about jobs, we should avoid using an article in French, but in English we maintain. Merci beaucoup, au revoir.